Hi guys, if you're new here, I'm Sandy. Nice to meet you. I do crafts. If you're joining me again, thanks so much for hanging out. So, I'm gonna get right into it with the crafts. Oh, disclaimers first though. If you hear a bird chirping, that's my budgie. And if you hear a dog walking around, he's currently sleeping, but sometimes he decides to get up. That's just my dog. And if you hear city noises, it's because I live in the middle of a city. So, and if you hear construction noises, which hopefully you won't, they're working next door. So, okay, so knitting. I'm going to start with what I'm calling a kind of tale of two sweaters. So, I moved in October up to Dublin, and we're trying to not do the thing where you unpack and you just take everything out of boxes really urgently and put it somewhere for the sake of unpacking. We want to actually really mindfully unpack, and like this goes here, and if we don't have room for it, then we get rid of it. Unless it's a craft supply, then we'll hoard it until I die. But yeah, so we're trying to get out of that habit, and I've been procrastinating greatly because that's what I do. And it's kind of come to the point where I can't anymore because we're going to a wedding in April and the bride wants everybody in white. I don't own anything white because I spill on myself a lot, you know, so it's a really nervous color. But I do have a lot of white knit that I bought for something else that I never made, so and I'm never gonna make, so I'm gonna use that to make myself a dress, and then when I get home I'll dye it, which is the good thing about white. And I need to get on that. So I need my sewing machine set up, and you know, Adam had a day off on Thursday and we've had like a weird couple weeks. I was sick all last week, or sick all this week. Sorry, I like started getting really, like, my allergies just kind of hit me. I hate spring and summer, like hate them. So we were unpacking, and if you've been with me for a while, you know that I've been working on this one sweater called the Boho embroidered sweater, and it's a Craftsy class. So first she walks you through knitting the sweater and then teaches you the embroidery. So I found the sweater, but in the move, the yarn from the sweater got put somewhere and I didn't know where. So I'll talk about the sweater a bit. I actually love, I do like how this is turning out. So she has you, I mean, the construction is a little weird. I don't know if I love the increases that she used, but I don't know. I think they're going to turn out well. You're kind of embroidering over the increases, so I'm not super mad at it. Don't know if I love them, but it's interesting. And yeah, so it's a good sweater. Honestly, if you're doing a first sweater, I would recommend this 100%, especially if you love to embroider and you love the look of the sweater. Yeah, so when we moved, first off, I bought these, I think like in the first lockdown before Brexit. Like, I bought the yarn ages ago and I don't remember what size I bought the yarn to go into. I don't remember, yeah, I just don't remember anything about where or how much, why I bought the amount I did. So this is supposed to be worn with, I think, 4 to 5 inches of positive ease. And I've lost weight since I bought the yarn. So that could be, is that where that stitch marker went? I have my cutest stitch marker on here. Okay. God. It's been a while. So yeah, so I have it. I don't know how much I bought, but I have been kind of like losing a bit more weight since we moved to Dublin because I'm not super depressed as much. I mean, you know, like moving doesn't solve depression, but when you're in a space where a lot happened and you kind of can't move out of that, it's harder. So when you move your location, sometimes you can start to heal and it makes doing the work feel like something really achievable. And that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, I bought this ages ago. I'm not sure how much yarn I had. So my kind of idea was I'll get to the point where you separate the sleeves. I went down about 5 centimeters and then I did the sleeves. I'm really tall, and when I grew up, nothing was long enough. So I have this obsession with doing this with my sleeves, just because I can. So I always wear my sleeves pushed up. Unless I'm cold, then I put my entire hand in them. So I would rather have a cropped sweater than have cropped sleeves. So I decided I'll do the sleeves use up as much yarn as I want, and then I can just go round and round until it gets as long as I want it to be, and then good. So first off, I love this sweater. Like, it's going really well. I'm happy with it. And right now I'm just going round and around in stockinette. But in the move, I could only find this much yarn. So I didn't really want to, like, I needed the needles for another project. I needed the cord for another project. So I just put this on some waste yarn, and I could not find the rest of the yarn. I had no idea where we put it. So I was cleaning with Adam on Thursday. We were just unpacking some stuff, and I found this. I knew where it was, but I'm just like, okay, well, I need to clean up this box. I don't know where the yarn for this sweater is. And he goes, oh, I know exactly where that is. Like, are you kidding me? So he leads me to the guest room, and he says, and I quote, Sandy, if there is a drawer that pulls out or something that lifts up, there's yarn in it. I'm just like, yeah, that checks out. So we found it, which I'm really excited because I want to finish this sweater. But the issue is, I was using this for a layette, which I'll show you in a bit. And as soon as I finished that, I cast on another sweater with the cords and the needles I need for that. So part of me is like, okay, do I put this on waste yarn, finish that, and then come back to this? Or do I just finish this and then finish that? So this one is, it's called the Ombre Cardigan because you hold two together and you're supposed to like ombre the yarn if you want, which I don't. I'm going to dye this. I'm keeping that one white because I'm doing the embroidery and things that are more in my color palette. So I think having that near my face will make it not look so washed out. Oh, also the yarn I'm using for this that I found is the MillaMia Naturally Soft Aran. This is excellent if you just want a really good budget merino. Like, it's so soft. It does not feel budget. It feels pure luxury. It is amazing. I'm obsessed with it. But yeah, I do want this to be this color because I figure if I'm doing it near my face and there's embroidery here in my colors, it might like look fine. And also, honestly, I'm probably gonna wear this mostly around the house to watch the dog. I mean, I watch him a lot. Walk the dog. You know, kind of just going outside when I need something really warm. Whereas I think this is more something that's going to be a wardrobe staple that I'll wear out a lot. So, yeah, so it's just a raglan sleeve cardigan. You kind of make the sleeves and then with like increases. I'm actually really enjoying the process of this knit, and it's top down. It's going really well. But this one I'm probably going to dye. But since this yarn, it's the Debbie Bliss Rialto Lace, which is actually discontinued, which I'm really sad about. It's also 100% merino. But I figured since it's caked, I don't want to uncake it to skein it and then dye it and then have to make it into a ball again. So I'm going to try to see what happens when I dye the finished project. I want this to be maybe a berry or a burgundy or honestly whatever color it comes out as is fine. So I don't know, like I really want to finish the boho sweater this year, but I'm also like, is it worth it taking it out, putting it on waistline and doing everything? So maybe I can just power knit this guy. But I am loving this pattern. Like, it's easy, it's good, it's comforting. I might make some adjustments to this because this, again, with the sizing, she suggests a lot of positive ease, which is part of why I chose this pattern, because I want, she says you can do less ease, and she has pictures of one with less ease and one with more ease. And I think it's just a growing up sewing thing where they are so specific about what fits where, whereas knitting's a bit more loosey-goosey with it, kind of just like, oh, well, if you want this look, if you want that look, and I'm like, just tell me. But what I might do with that is omit the buttons and then make like a sash, like knit up just a, yeah, little sash, so that I get some waist definition, and yeah. That's kind of my thinking. Let me know what you think if you've ever adapted something like that, because that way too, when it gets bigger, I need my waist to really be emphasized. Otherwise, I look a little out of sorts. Like, that's just how my body is. But yeah, so that's my two sweater conundrum. I don't know. Part of me is leaning towards, like, there's no point in doing the kind of whole, like, the process of taking something on waist yarn and putting it off waist yarn is kind of annoying. So I'm like, is there really any point to me doing it twice when I could just, I need both, I want both sweaters. I do need sweaters though. I'm really cold all the time. Like, I need them. So yeah, I'm just trying to finish what I can. Let me know what you think. Honestly, it's very confusing. This just, I mean, it's a lovely problem to have. Which wonderful sweater should I finish first? But it's, alas, a lot of issues. So crochet-wise, all I have is my temperature blanket. I'm doing this in Drops Karisma. The pattern is called Temperature Blanket. And yeah, so I'm about 5 days behind on it. It's, again, I hate spring and summer. Hate them. So seeing the colors change. Luckily, I love this color, so it's like the best thing about spring right now is it's a pretty new color. But yeah, so it's interesting seeing it kind of transition a little bit, and we're getting bigger. I'm really liking this project. Did I say the pattern is called Temperature Blanket on Ravelry? I'll link it, obviously. But it's just a really good one. I'm liking this yarn. It's not the softest, but it's super wash, which I really wanted for a blanket. And it is cozy, it's warm. I love having this sit over me because I always have another blanket on me. So I'm on like a 3 blanket system ideally, but I only have 1 blanket right now. So ideally I will have 1 over my lap, 1 over my shoulders, and then I want a 3rd really heavy wool blanket for if I'm too cold to put over my like lap blanket. Yeah, I like blankets. That's what it comes down to. I don't think that's a bad thing. So this is going to be ideally the heavy wool blanket, and yeah, I really like that she did the color packs for this. There's this one's winter, or sort of my facsimile. She's done acrylic and I wanted wool. Sort of a facsimile of it, and I think next year I'm going to do fall. So I'm really enjoying this project. If you haven't done a temperature blanket and you've been looking to do one, I recommend this pattern. And it's good too because I'm not the best at crochet. I'm still definitely a beginner, and this has really made me a lot more confident in being able to, like, not so much because it's not complicated, there's really only 2 stitches in here, but just being able to identify where to put the hook in and do like the basics, the basic motion, because I think that's why I've never stuck with crochet really, is because I never got that like muscle memory in, so now I'm really getting it and I'm liking this project. So yeah, but I'm 5 days behind because, I don't know, daily commitments are so hard. It's like I brush my teeth every day, I do my skincare, and that's about all I got. So if you've been with me for a while, you know that I'm making my nephew a layette, the Debbie Bliss Cashmerino layette. And it's the Bare Necessities layette. I'm making it in her Cashmerino yarn, right down to the recommended colors. First time I've ever done this. I'm so excited. And it's no longer a knitting project. It's an embroidery project now. So I finished the blanket. So now I'm just going to back this with some linen because my floats are a little not supreme. And also I just think it'll be easier to wash and live with some linen, and we like linen in my family. And for the little sweater, I've done the back. I found the 3rd button, but now I'm not sure I love it. So I can't find the other 2. I can't find the bag I put them in. So I might go back to the fabric store with it and find it. But yeah, that's the back. It's so stinking cute. I am so hypercritical of each little embroidered face when I look at them. But now I look at them together, and even just looking at them on the screen right now, I'm like, damn, that's cute. I need to be nicer to myself. So yeah, so this is almost ready to go. My mom is telling me it's urgent. I made this in, I'm sorry, he's 2 months old. I made this in a 1 to 1.5 year old size, and my mother every day is like, well, it's not gonna fit him by the time you send it. And it's like, first off, no, like he's a big baby, but he's not that big. Secondly, you're mispronouncing, good job. And third, I have more yarn. I have enough to knit him up a 2-year-old size. So if it doesn't fit him, I can do that quite quickly because it's a blanket that takes forever. So I'm just going to quilt the blanket. I figure he's not going to be wearing a wool sweater in the middle of summer. Like, Canada is cold, but not that cold. So that's my thoughts. And Mom, if you're watching this, those are my thoughts. So my mom doesn't watch this. Nobody I know does. My husband sometimes. Debatable. For acquisitions, yarn wise, For my cousin, his 30th is coming up, so I really wanted to knit him. He also moved to like Montreal, which is really cold. So I want to knit him a beautiful, really luxurious set. He's like a designer guy. So I found these on sale. They're Donegal Heritage Aranmore by the Fibre Co. So they're made in Ireland, but it's a British company. Yeah, so I saw these and I'm not loving the shades, so I'm gonna dye them. But the fiber is, it's 80% wool, 10% silk, and 10% cashmere. So I think that's gonna be really luxurious and beautiful for him. So I think I'm gonna try to dye it like a black or a gray. I think I just need to find where my black and gray dye is. But yeah, so I'm really excited. I just can't stop touching these. Kind of jealous because this is probably the nicest yarn I've ever made something with, so I am hoping he loves it, and he will. I know he will. He's a good person, and I'm going to make it very just like stylish and chic and very easy. And my last acquisition, again, if you've been here a while, you remember I bought a ton of fat quarters to make, it's another Craftsy class, the startup library for quilting, because I want to get into English paper piecing because I have so many fabric scraps that need to be used. So, I have decided, I remember how to make quilt tops. I remember how to do the actual quilt top, the patchwork. I don't remember how to quilt. I took a lot of quilting classes back when I was a kid. That's kind of how I learned to sew. We had a cute little quilting shop just down the road from us that, sadly closed, but I loved it. I signed up. I think my mom sent me to every single class because I mean, I hated it. I went to sports camp one summer. Or 2 summers, and I just hated it. I hated every minute of it. I did not want to be there playing sports every day. I wanted, like, we did crafts once a week, and it was the only time I really was, like, happy at that camp. So I think at one point I managed to convince them to not let me play because I had a chip nail, and I, like, fixed my nails instead of playing dodgeball. It was just not my thing. I mean, I love sports now because I've discovered sports I like, and I don't have somebody yelling at me to play them, which is everything. But yeah, so after that debacle where my mom's like, well, I'm not gonna pay for you to go sit and do your nails while everybody else learns badminton, she found this quilting camp, and it was a 1 quilting camp, and I miss quilting. I do. So I got some fat quarters, and I had to decide which one would be the background fabric. I was between this one, and I chose this one. So I'm really excited for the quilt. This is only for the top. I don't remember how to bind and quilt, but I quilt and bind. The backing, I don't know, I'm probably going to go with something a little bit more neutral / cheaper, you know? Maybe something that's like blush color. But yeah, I am so excited for this. This is the Wild Meadow collection by Moda Fabrics. I'm in love. It's just so pretty. I got these mostly from the Crafty Fox, and also I got these ones from the Crafty Fox and these ones from a shop on Etsy because I couldn't get the complete collection, so I had to order these from Germany, and I got these in Ireland. So yeah, those are my acquisitions. As for life stuff, I was like so sick last week, so I'm sorry there was no video. I get the absolute worst spring summer allergies. I get them so hard, they come on so fast, and then they kind of die down once I get used to it. I think I might have also had a cold. I don't know. I literally just, like, I couldn't talk. I had no voice. My nose was so clogged. I just had this bad sinus infection. It was, well, I don't think it was an infection. I think it literally was just my sinuses were so blocked because of the allergies. I'm doing a bit better. I'm trying to stay inside as much as I can. I don't know. I love plants. I plant them. I do such beautiful things for them, and yet they're so mean to me in return. I've tracked down some local honey, like even specific to, you know, like exactly where I live in Dublin. So hopefully that will help because, yeah, like honey is, if you can get local honey, since they take it from the flowers in your area, it kind of helps your body adjust to the pollen. I'm not entirely sure about the exact scientific backing behind it, to be honest, but I just read it somewhere. And honestly, the year we kept bees in my backyard was, we did that for a couple years, and those 2 years I had basically no allergies, which has not happened since I was like 6 years old. So I think there's something to it. I mean, the worst case scenario is I'm supporting a local business and I get delicious honey in my tea. So, or just as a spoonful, honestly, because sometimes if you put honey in hot stuff, it can kill some of the really good stuff. So yeah, that's what's happened. We had Patty's Day here. That was excellent. We dressed Blackstrap as a leprechaun. It was so cute. I think I have some clips. But yeah, so that's what's been happening. Just a lot of cleaning. And you know what? I feel like I haven't done anything. I think every time, every week I haven't done this set. That's where I feel like I haven't done anything. But looking at it now, like, I've gotten a lot done. And I should be a little easier on myself, a little more proud of myself. Yeah, but thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'll link everything below. I hope you have a really good day. I hope you have a good week. And if it's spring where you are, I hope you are surviving, because man, oh man, my body is trying to kill me. It's the plants. Anyway, thanks so much. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Here I sit, I make an honest confession from which my thought it was bad, but you wouldn't mind.